Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We're casting the semi-finals in the Noob Dungeons 1v1 tournament. I am hoping we got okay. I see we don't have them. We don't have the stream setup over there. Just give me a second,
boy.
guys. The wrong screen. Okay. Yeah, I think we got the right stream this time. And joining me is Potato Monster.
Hello there. Best of 3 series semi-finals. I'm excited.
Wait, is it best of 3 or best of 5? We'll have to check with Diabolo. Did he say best of 3?
I am not sure. I thought it was best of 3, but I'll let you find out.
Alright, we'll find out. So this is the most random of the mega random map I have ever seen. Look at this, bro. This is just a tiny island in the middle.
That is a map.
Yeah.
We have a tiny ass channel connecting both the islands. This is that my friends, I call this this is like basically like mountain pass, but instead of mountains you have water.
Yeah. No,
This is
I would
one
even
tiny
say
pass.
this is a funny map because I would actually like to have this as a preset map. Imagine you have all sides water and you just connect it with the land so that you have an option to boom, you also have an option to rush in the middle. It's a nice setup in that way.
That's true. That's true. There is a lot of water, but looking at the water, there isn't really a lot of options. You don't really have a lot of options for fishing down towards red side, towards Magma. Not a lot of fish spawning for him. The fish that have spawned are pretty far from the shore. Whereas for Diablo, we do see a pretty large cluster of fish to the east of his island. So that can be an option for him.
And here's a problem. If you see this, that both of these guys have got one side where they've got a lot of fish and the other side where there's hardly anything. And we know that because we have the reveal map. They don't know that.
They don't have any idea.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Magma goes for a fishing start here, but it doesn't look like he's doing that. Looks like he's going to stick to the land. All of his villages are still on food, so no surprises for him there. But
yeah. Dude, check this out. Dude, check this out. Check this out. We got a boar hunt in age 1.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Are we going for it? Are we going for it?
This is a very early boar hunt. One villager dead. That's not good. There's a very premature boar.
Good. It looks like he was trying to make a mill, but he forgot to micro in the midst of all of that. He finds himself already down one villager. He's putting down a mill, but that mill is pretty far away from the boar, and we have 2 scouts coming in, and quite a bit of panic over here. And another villager goes down.
Dude,
Diablo is already now 2 villagers.
Bro,
this is pretty sad, honestly. Oh, and
there is no way this thing is real, man.
Oh boy, that.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, Magma coming in hot with a 3-minute win, looking completely dominant, completely in control of that game from start to the end. Whatever that happened.
Bro, whatever this was, I don't think there has been ever in AOE history. I'm talking about history, not just noob games. Okay, Diablo says the terrain was no build. He couldn't build there. Bro, but still going for like mega random is one map where you cannot go for risky strategies like that. And you don't know where your enemy is coming from. I remember this one game between Prolays and Phyllis where they spawned very close to each other, not diagonally opposite. So you could have a similar situation like that. And imagine spawning so close to English. It's never a good idea to go like. I think that was a brazen move to go in the middle.
I think it would be super funny if he kills the boar, starts hunting it down, puts it on a mill, and is like, all right, I got this boar, and then just realizes there's a town center firing at his village.
Yeah, right? The town center right next to it. That would be very funny.
Yeah, but this was probably equally bad. He not only does he lose a villager getting the boar, he also realizes he can't really build a mill near it. with that walk distance, pretty much any advantage that he got from starting on a bull would have been negated because his villagers would have like a 2 to 3 seconds walk time.
Yep.
So definitely a pretty risky strat, and in this case, I'd say the risk did not pay out.
Yeah. No, definitely. This was. I don't know, man. How to even describe this? It could have worked.
I'd
I think it could
say-
have worked in a regular map. On a map where you know where things are spawning normally, would be great.
I mean, I guess you could say that match was pretty mega random.
Very mega random in every way possible. But that's the beauty of mega random. You never know what to expect, and here we have. I would have actually liked to go see that game go for a little longer, so that because it would be a funny map, right? You have water.
That
You
was a
got
pretty interesting spawn.
yeah, and both of these guys have one water spot that is bad and one water spot that is good, and they don't know that. So it would be risky to go for water at all. In fact.
Yeah, that is true. It's like especially for Magma, where the fish weren't really close to the shore, so no real way for him to figure out whether the water spawn was super close to him or far away.
Yeah. In the chat, we've got Uvelet, 300 ping, 300 ping Ron later. Maybe I'll play some Ron later. And we've got Derba. Thanks, man. Glad to see you here. Okay, I am in the second game, and this is Altai. Potato, let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm loading in. All right, I am in the game.
Okay, let's go. We've got our second game, and this is a best of three, as just mentioned. So this is like a game point for Magma.
Yeah, pretty anticlimactic, and that first game I feel would be quite tilting for Diablo,
Yeah,
considering what happened. But
I can
he's
imagine
gonna
Magma.
have to take it off and just go for the win this time.
Yeah,
He was definitely be feeling the pressure, and this time it looks he's going for something safer, going for an early mill as the French, trying to get some food off those deer. On the other side, Magma seems to be going for a more standard start, going for the sheep in the beginning.
I'm surprised he's going for the sheep and not for berries or the deer. Because as Abba said, sheep is going to be the worst option, right?
Yeah,
You have berries, and if he could place a mill where he would have access to both the berries and the deer. But anyway, we'll trust Magma.
But I suppose with the recent nerfs, you could say that it is fairly even. Even so, it would have been nice to see a berry start from him as the Abbasid, but let's see what he does. Maybe he has a plan. He's gonna save that wood and use it somewhere else.
Yep. So another thing is, this is French versus Abbasid matchup, and I think historically it's known that it always favors Abbasid. Abbasids counter French very well. They can get their TC down. They have some nice upgrades on the spears, and of course, Abbasids are as fast as French when it comes to getting to H2.
Yeah, definitely. It is a bit harder to get those night raids off on the Abbasid with that second TC, another point of safety existing for their villages. But let's see if Diablo can adjust his game plan, try and figure out how to deal with it. Or it's also possible that we do not see a second TC from the Abbasid player over here.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Abbasid. They can go aggressive, they can go boom, and that fresh foodstuffs helps with both cases.
That's true. That's definitely. So far, it looks like he's going for a pretty standard start. We'll know soon enough if he plans to go for the second TC or not, if he diverts some of his villagers over to stone. But other than that, nothing too spicy going on. Looking at the map, relic spawns seem to be quite even, and sacred sites as well are, I would say, pretty even, honestly. Although I do think that Diablo is the sacred site towards the west kind of favors Diablo because it's kind of hard to get to it for Magma, and while the entry to his sacred side over to the northeast is also closer to his base, it's much farther away and much easier to access compared to what we have for Diablo, where there's a forest blocking the entrance and you have to go. You have to walk in front of the town center to get to it from there. Otherwise, you have to loop around, get in from the back side.
I would be very surprised if this game does come down to sacred sites at all. I would feel that this game you're gonna see some aggression in the middle. Now I'm also trying to see here that Magma's got actually a nice build order because he was able to get 2 scouts out and still age up before click up before 3 minutes. Not bad.
A pretty clean execution on his part. I'm not seeing any villagers being shifted over to stone, so I'm assuming that he's going for a more standard age to not going for the fresh.
So I'm at 4 minutes, 10 seconds, and he
puts down the stone mine.
Yeah, we're gonna see the second TC here. Let's look at Diablo if he has scouted this out. So first of all, I am surprised that he went for a single scout, or unless something got killed. No, nothing got killed. So he did go for a single scout, which is a little not standard with French, since French have the easiest way of getting a second scout.
That's true. That's like, it's pretty standard for the French to get a second scout. And we see a scout raid coming in over here. Looks like Diablo was going to move his villagers over to stone, so this is pretty interesting. Diablo attempting to counter the Abbasid double TC with his own double TC, although I'm not sure how effective that's going to be.
I think it's a great response to Abbasid double TC. The only problem with that is he's going to be slower, and these 2 scouts from Magma, they are doing decent damage. Like, they have delayed for a few seconds. That not bad, seeing that these scouts will just heal back and Magma loses nothing almost.
I think that Diablo is definitely feeling pressured way too much by those scouts. I think the appropriate response here, instead of getting his villagers off and fighting the scouts, which is wasting him very precious villagers seconds, is to just swap out his villagers whenever they get low, because the scouts do deal very, very low damage, honestly. And by focusing the scouts instead of actually just swapping villagers out, he does give Magma the advantage he wants. That being said, we do have a Knight raid coming in. The Knight is taking heavy damage from the town center over there, not what you want. And the second Knight also coming out for Diablo. And it looks like Magma is putting down that second town center at 6 minutes 20. Not the fastest town center, but not the slowest either. And meanwhile, the scout raids continue up towards the north side of the map.
Yeah, the scout raids are relentless. And Magma Diablo also got his enough stone for the second TC. He will put it down a few seconds later. Now the problem for Magma is going to be that he does not have a barracks, so he will have to depend on continuously garrisoning in, garrisoning out. And if Diablo can get the chivalry upgrade, he can keep doing that forever, right?
Yeah, that is true. And I do see a bit of an issue here. Okay, we do see a barracks coming down. The problem right now is that those knights have completely denied Magma access to his goal, which could be an issue for him in the long run. I'm kind of surprised to see that the scout is still around harassing the villagers at this point in the game. I think one knight could very easily shoot that scout off, but seems like that scout is going to get another villager if Diablo doesn't pay attention.
I'm surprised it actually killed.
I'm not sure if he's killed more than one villager over there. I haven't been keeping
there are
track.
2 lost. If you look at the KD, there are 2 kills from both the players. Yeah, Diablo is in Magma is in a corner. You see, he's only collecting food at this point, nothing else. So he can feel the pressure. And bro, Diablo just sent 4 villagers to chase that scout. That scout is the best investment return ever.
That is true. I feel like although Magma is kind of stuck under his town centers collecting food for the time being, uh, he will have spears soon enough, and the fact that Diablo is down 2 villages already, it's not looking super amazing for him. His second town center is out now, and it has started producing villages, but just feel like he's going to be a tad bit behind in this game.
Yeah. Oh, are you seeing the? Whoa, bro! Whoa, what happened here, dude? You need to look at these two
Oh
knights.
my god, those knights! So Magma going in for a very sneaky wall, which is interesting. So those knights are probably not going to survive for very long. Although to be fair, I do not think it really matters if they do or not at this point. Those knights are basically gone at this point.
They are just population. They're taking up population. That's all. If there's chivalry and those knights can survive for, I don't know for how long they need to be there to heal up again, because they'll have to kill this palisade and there's a spear waiting right behind.
Although, to be honest, I feel like this was a mistake from Magma. Look at the HP on those knights.
Yeah.
There was no need to waste any wood on that wall. It's
Yeah,
only
that one
5
spear.
wood.
That
Only
one
15
spear.
wood, but the one spear could kill both of them.
In the chat, thereby is asking Ron versus AOE. Well, I'm biased towards Ron, but I think AOE is a lot fun, and the fact that of course you can watch games live, that option is not available in Ron. There's some nice team games you can do in AOE as well. I would be
for
very,
the win.
yeah. Bro,
Oh, we just see an archery range coming down for Diablo. It looks like he's planning to stay. Does this mean he's double archery range? Is that a triple archery? 2 archery ranges and a blacksmith. It looks like he's going for an extended feudal. Looking at the resource count, Magma doesn't look particular.
Could be Arbaletrier, maybe, right? Because
he is it.
Yeah,
he does have the resources to click up, but he hasn't really clicked up just yet.
Finally, those knights go down.
And now he has resources to finally click up, and we have a bit of a spear raid coming on here.
Oh, bro, there's spear raids, and there's a guild hall in the back, and those spears can't stop that guild hall. That's a problem for Diablo.
I think it's fine if they retreat to the south corner to build that guild hall. They should be under protection of the town center. Actually, they are already. Although they do manage to kill some villager, he is.
Just a second, I need to pause the game. I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry for the delay, guys.
All right.
Yeah. I'm back, guys. And Potato, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Alright, sorry for the delay. I'm gonna resume the game right now. I'm at 11 minutes 4 seconds.
Yep, same. The spear raid does seem to be advancing bit by bit.
Bro, it's a very, I don't know if it was planned by Magma or it just happened to be at a very nice time. These 3 spears are doing so much damage, already killed several villagers.
The funny part is, if you look at the economy count, they're actually pretty even in villages, even with everything that's taken place.
Yeah.
In fact, Diablo is ahead by one village. The French bonus really coming in handy right there. And even
Yeah.
with all of the pressure he's under, I feel like Diablo is in a great spot to take this game away. He has already aged up. On the other hand, is Magma has also clicked up, in fact. So Diablo does get the timing advantage. He has the better eco right now. I feel like if he holds out, he's already in age 3, so he should be he should be able to deal with the Abbasid player. It looks
Yeah.
like while he's not paying attention, he might lose a knight here, but the knight does survive with a bit of HP. And he takes out a
Whoa!
villager.
He gets a kill, villager kill. Perfect, man. We're perfect.
Oh, way to grow that villager lead. But meanwhile, the spear raids have not stopped.
Dude, do you see this? Look, check this out. There's a very weird mill from Diablo that is
That's,
visible, that Magma can see.
That is very ballsy.
Why? That's the real question. As in, I can understand he wants to take away berry bushes, but if Magma sends these 2 spears, he can kill us a few of these villagers.
He can just completely move them off those berries. I'm honestly surprised that he hasn't done anything yet. Meanwhile, the spear raids in the back have become a bit of a problem, and at this point, if you look at the villager counts, they have evened out. So Magma has managed to achieve something with that. We have some man-at-arms coming out for Diablo, and they are going to chase away those spears successfully. Meanwhile, Diablo is also expanding to the northeast part of the map, looking for more gold.
We're finally getting to the nice part of the game, age 3. A lot happening. Monastery is here, so I'm guessing we'll see some relic hogging.
Do we have a monastery for Diablo? No, it does not seem so. Actually, this
No, he has it. Diablo
He
got a
doesn't have one?
monastery. Wait, okay, Magma doesn't have it. Diablo does.
Well, those relics will definitely come in handy. French can always use more gold. I'm kind of surprised that Magma has not pushed these villages yet. He seems to be
Yeah.
trying to wall them in.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, maybe he first wants to wall them in so that
Apparently
they
he
can
does.
have it.
He's moving towards those villages, and now we do have a bit of a spicy situation, and this does feel like a bit of a throw by Diablo, honestly.
Yeah, why?
Like,
Why, man? Seriously.
there was no need to do that. If you just look towards the northwest of that mill, there's a deer patch.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could have taken that deer patch before.
Even towards the southeast side of his base, there's another deer patch. There's plenty of food around the map.
Bro, talking about
does
bad
lose-
timing. Look at this. This monk just gets created.
boy.
Oh,
And he gets taken out. That is 100.
such a
That is
bad
150
timing,
gold
man.
down the drain. Meanwhile, we have a man-at-arms that has been massacring all of these stone miners down in Magma's base. So at this point, it does feel like a game where it's a contest regarding who can kill more villagers.
That's nice.
And
That's
it
nice.
looks like that man-at-arms over there is going to pick himself up a quadra kill. No more villages left for him to take down, so he goes for the archery range, but it looks like his attention will be required elsewhere. He moves towards the southern part of the map.
Yeah, he's just killing everything that was making it to the stone mine. But yeah.
Oh, and look at this. We have a keep being dropped right outside Diablo's base.
That is strange.
And
You know,
honestly, I
like how much the meta has changed. If this was the pre-patch game, you would see sieges coming out, mangonels from every side, but no more.
the Bangonel wars, though I am pretty pleased about that. I don't think Diablo really has the military counts to contest this. He has a couple archers, but the mass from Magma is just way bigger.
Yeah. And
Diablo
once
is just sitting on a lot of resources right now. He did spend a bunch of them, but I'm assuming they went. Yeah, those are all units in queue. And the issue I see for Diablo right now is that he has a lot in reserve, but he doesn't have anything out on the field right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of gold. Let's look at the guild hall. Yeah, 500, not much. I think he's been collecting from the guild hall.
Yeah, that does seem to be a very poverty-stricken guild hall, but we see a couple of more men-at-arms dying to the crossbows over there, so I think it's pretty weird that he decides to go for man-at-arms versus whatever Magma is passing right now, because the spears can screen pretty well, and then we have the crossbows mowing them now,
The
while
funny
he
part
has his
is
own crossbows.
that if Diablo just goes for mass archers, veteran archers, that counters everything.
Yeah, the Hue would
might
just
be-
win, but unfortunately not anymore, because there's a keep standing in the way of
Yeah.
him and victory, and looks like we have a bit of a ram push coming through with 4 rams being dropped down by Magma, and honestly looking at the state of the game, this might be GG's.
Yeah. No knights from the French player, and I think going into Menatons was good, but before he could go into Menatons, Magma is already there with 17 crossbows, so any Menatons will just get shredded at this point.
I think the major issue was that the Man-at-Arms switch could have worked really well, but not when you have 2,000 food in the bank with 1,000 gold in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be. So Diablo did get to H3 before Magma, but he simply left his resources in the stockpile, and resources in the stockpile might as well not exist, because they don't do anything unless you spend them.
Whoa! Are you seeing this? Diablo is putting down a castle on the sacred side, and I think that castle could have been more useful in his home base.
I feel like that is a huge mistake. He does have a fair bit of units. I don't know if he'll. So the arbaletier will put down their pavises, and we have archers firing down upon these spears. Those spears are getting shredded pretty fast, but at the same time he is losing his arbaletier to the crossbow mass put out by Magma, and the pavis is already on cooldown so right now his crossbows and the arbaletier are basically the same unit until they get the pavises back.
Yeah, and Diablo is not like he for a few seconds he was not producing from his archery ranges. So the reason I say about that castle is it's not just a regular castle. French castles also give you cheaper units, especially archers. So that would have been, especially for French, that castle being behind the TC and making some archery ranges around that could have changed the tide of this game.
I think, in fact, he would have even put it up in front. It would have acted as an excellent line of defense, and as long as he had a couple of minions to deter rams, he would have been perfectly fine. He could have used the keep to take down the crossbows if they ever step forward, while using his man-at-arms to destroy any rams that tried to go on the keep. So he would have been in a pretty good spot, but this castle over towards the northern sacred side, I don't feel like it really does anything, especially considering the fact that your opponent has a really large mass of units in your base. He's knocking at the doors of your town center, taking your buildings down. And honestly, at this point, I don't think Diablo comes back.
Right. Looking from Diablo's perspective, I was in his view there, that when he was putting down the castle, he did not see those rams coming. So at that point, for him, it was just a castle forward. So I think he was just trying to expand from the sides, but yeah, the moment he saw these rams, he already put down that castle. It was late. Well played, man. Well played by
Magma. Diablo. He did have a pretty great start to the game, but he did drop the ball along the way with those 3,000 resources in stockpile. That's a lot of resources. You could do a lot with 3,000 resources.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull up the stats for that game so we can. Hold up. Was that a best of 5 or? I think that was a best of 3, right? Well, there is another game between Diablo and Magma, but I guess it's just a practice game. Alright, so I pulled up the stats for the last game, and here we've got eco-wise, Magma had higher wood production and very similar gold, similar stone. Diablo's eco was not that behind. I would say it was even comparable to Magma.
I would actually say that he was ahead until the end, where he lost a lot of villages at the berry bush. He lost a lot of villages because the Magma was literally outside his base with an army knocking at his door. I would say up to that point he would have probably actually been ahead.
Yeah. Oh, we're finding out it's a best of 5.
Oh, it's a best of 5, so there's an opportunity for Diablo to get back in the game.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, overall, I feel like that game, not a lot of knights. French without knights, they're decent, but especially seeing that. Actually, now I'm thinking about what Magma was producing. Maybe going knights was not a good idea either, because Magma had just the right counters to knights.
Spears plus crossbows would have been pretty bad against knights, but archers.
The only time you would use knights in that case is you have some run-bys, try to send some raids, but apart from that, in the main army, going with archers would be very good.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it boiled down to a difference in how much micro both players could do, and Diablo seemed to be really struggling with those scout raids up towards the north side of his base, while at the same time controlling his knights. So we saw him lose all of his a lot of villages to the scouts, and at the same time his knights got stuck behind a wall at 10 HP each.
Yeah,
forced into a corner. So a lot of the early game, I feel like the micro gap between the players resulted in Magma pulling ahead. Despite all of that, Diablo was still able to match him in villager production, and I'd say even had a better eco at one point in the game.
Yeah, French with 2 TC are very deadly. It almost becomes a 3 TC in H3.
Yeah.
Right, I'm in game number 3. If you are, as soon as you start the replay, let me know.
I am loading in. I see you're at 33 seconds. Let me just speed up.
Come on, we got French versus HRE versus Mongols. This is Hill. No, this is Lipany. Pretty close, Lipany. All right, what's your opinion on HRE pick on this map?
HRE pick on this map, especially against the Mongols. Although I haven't been keeping up with the meta super hard, I don't like it, honestly. Yeah, I really don't like it.
HRE is, I think, the worst performing civ right now. There, in our level, around 1400, 1500, I think it's not that big of a deal, because we're not the top of the line players. But still, HRE, I also think that HRE is specifically vulnerable to Mongols, especially if there's a tower rush. HRE have very little that they can do about a tower rush.
I think that's common to all civs, though. But
no, as in some
we
civs,
see
like English would be the
coming in being annoying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, English would just shut down a tower rush. They don't even care. They're like, thanks for the free villager, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know you wanted me to win that bad.
Going to Magma side, I don't see a tower rush coming. Not enough villagers on wood, so he's just going to get to H2 as fast as he can. He's got a nice position for his TC, gold vein and the wood in reach. Also for a second.
Interesting mill by Diablo. His mill is completely towards one side of the deer patch, which honestly at this point I'd say that you might as well be collecting from berries.
Yeah, dude, look at this. Look at this. Diablo put down a mine instead of a lumber mill, man. Having this happen in a tournament game.
Oh boy.
It's just way
That has
bad.
got to sting. And it seems like Magma is going to do the no sheep challenge where he basically plays without sheep because he has decided to spend the first 3 minutes entirely in his opponent's space trying to harass with the Khan. Doesn't
Yeah.
really get anything done at all with that. And thank God for that, because I remember back in the day when the Khan was a real issue in terms of just how obnoxious he was with his raids.
Yeah. Dude, are you seeing this? The Diablo scout is just collecting all the sheeps that are coming out of the pasture.
Oh my God.
Bro, this is like.
Oh my God. This is some 300 IQ big brain plays. It looks like Magma is in for a really nasty surprise.
Yeah, and Magma cannot see that. Magma might be wondering, where are these sheeps going?
Right now, he still has sheep under his town center, so he has no idea this is going on. But oh boy, Diablo, you sneaky dog.
Yeah, I still want to know if Diablo is doing this on purpose or he just happened to leave his scout at a very convenient spot. Like, which
That
one of
has
these was
got
it?
to be on purpose, man. I want to believe that's on purpose. Oh boy, here comes
Oh,
another.
he finds it. He
Oh god,
finds it.
he's gonna get it.
Wait, why isn't the sheep
Villager walks
converting?
up. Villager walks up. Villager walks up.
No. Wait, that
The
sheep did
villager
not
walks.
convert. That's strange. Like normally those sheep should convert.
He did convert because there was a villager nearby.
Ah, I see.
He does manage to take down one of the sheep, but that sheep is honestly in a bad position. He does manage to get 3 sheep, I'd say, away from Magma, which is pretty big considering that Magma has collected almost no sheep. So I do not see the Khan. Oh yeah, the Khan has no sheep on him. Meanwhile, Diablo still has 5 sheep under his town center, 2 on his scout. I don't know if there are any more to be found on the map, so sheep advantage definitely goes to Diablo with his early game shenanigans.
Main work palace. Not
Oh,
seeing.
Mineworks Palace, are we going to see some
Chapel.
spicy rushes? Man at Arms Rush.
Yeah, that's another thing
It
with
looks
Mongols.
like-
Hard to rush them, man.
It looks like Diablo has corrected his mistake, gone for another mill near the deer, and with
Yeah.
that, should get a pretty solid source of food in the early game to pump out man-at-arms. He does seem to be going for a barrack, so I think this is going to be a man-at-arms rush. We see a couple on villagers gold, a really large amount of food, so this is looking like a man-at-arms rush.
Yeah, and Magma is getting an outpost on the sacred side in the middle. I think it's a nice outpost. He will get a lot of vision in the middle, and he also has a deer stones, so he's getting the yam aura. Always nice to have
Honestly-
yam aura.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if he goes for a man-at-arms rush, it would be a huge mistake. Just have a look at Magma's base. He has food right next to his town center, gold right next to his town center, wood right next to his town center. What are you going to harass?
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the part about Mongols I was mentioning, that it's very hard to kill Mongols in H2 because they can fall back to their TC, and they have in a good situation like this one, they have all the resources they need right there.
Yeah, that's true. So, one man-at-arms being produced over here, it doesn't seem like he's going to go for more. I see that Magma is getting arrow slits on that outpost of his. So
Yeah.
a nice
Man,
little outpost to annoy people. I kind of disagree with getting arrow slits on it. I'm not sure how much he's going to get out of that, but let's see.
But it's a nice place to fall back. If Magma goes for some aggression and he has to fall back, this is a place where he will create a stop.
It doesn't look like he's going for any aggression though. Only a barracks in terms of military buildings under him. 7 minutes into the game, we have one man-at-arms being the only military unit out on the board.
I see. I'm expecting a fast castle here. Actually, it looked like.
It definitely looks like a fast castle.
I think
But he
Magma
doesn't
saw
have
that
any
main
food.
work. Magma saw the main work, and he knew I don't have to worry about aggression. So maybe initially he was thinking that the HRE guy will fast castle, and he will have to play aggressive. But now he knows he just has to sit back, let the HRE guy do all the job while he can go fast castle, use his Uwu to double produce men at arms or knights, whatever he wants.
He does need a lot more food if he's going for that fast castle, because he's right now sitting on 99. His gold stockpile is building up. He's sitting on a bunch of wood.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Wheelbarrow coming, not the enhanced one, just the regular wheelbarrow. And yeah, a little eco mismanagement, assuming his plan is for a fast castle. And this outpost is paying off very well. He already has vision over these 5 men at arms.
That outpost does seem to have spotted them on the edge, although I mean, I suppose as Mongols it is fine to do it because you get all of the free stone and stuff, but
yeah,
it is giving him a lot of vision over the center of the map. Although I don't really understand what Diablo's game plan is over here. There's Man-at-Arms mass, but I don't really know what he could achieve with this. I mean, he could probably deny those deer hunting zones over towards the north side. These Man-at-Arms will easily take down this tower, no problem. It doesn't do enough damage to them to scare them off.
Diablo is doing the thing that he has done every game, moving 10 villagers forward for a super risky mill.
That might be a mistake, Chief. That's an outpost with arrow slits over there, so I don't think this plan looks to be kind of doomed.
Especially not scouting it. Oh, bro, one villager dead already.
No, that's a mistake. He needs to get these villagers down to the south side, pull this Man-at-Arms over and take control of that area, and then he's probably good to go. Meanwhile, on the backside, we have a scout taking on a couple of villagers. So he does seem to be giving Magma a taste of his own medicine this game. Those villagers running for dear life to the town center.
Yeah.
Sadly for Diablo, it seems that none of them will go down. It seems like they've decided to run in the opposite direction. Back to the okay. So we're back to dying.
Bro, this is. I think that arrow slits are too cheap for how much protection they provide.
The real expense in arrow slits is that you need to shift your villagers to stone to get them, but if you're Mongols, not really.
Yeah. Because you see, these are not regular archer arrows. These will actually kill men-at-arms that especially have this extra pierce armor.
Although I don't understand why Diablo is scared of these outposts. These Man-at-Arms, yes, they take a bit of damage of the outpost, but not enough. He can take down both of those outposts and push Magma off of that food, and that would be a huge disadvantage for Magma. He's already behind in score. He does go for the ram, so that ram is going to be super helpful in soaking up the fire from the outpost, but I think he could have
garrisoned inside the ram.
30 seconds back he could have already denied these villagers.
Yeah, 2 villagers dead.
Okay. That's another going down. And will he make it in? Although it doesn't matter. That outpost is doomed. He's come. Looks like Magma is going to respond with a horseman raid. I think that it's really questionable to go horseman over here. Why would you go horseman? You saw that your opponent is massing Man-at-Arms.
The thing is that he made these stables for the knights, and he doesn't want to make archers at this point. And I think nothing beats these guys, right? In H2. Oh, Magma. If Magma can kill that ram, that's going to be big.
But it seems like he's going to go for the villagers, try to get a bit of revenge. But at the same time, those Man-at-Arms are standing at miss, those horsemen taking them down. And he does lose 2 horsemen there, so...
Alright, 2 knights coming, and I think 2 knights will clear everything. Unless Diablo brings some spears. These Man-at-Arms are...
2 knights, I feel, will not be enough to deal with that Man-at-Arms mass.
He's got double production, so I think he'll be able to set up something.
I think 4 or 5 knights, and he wins.
Yeah, Magma is running out of food though on his TC. pastures are not keeping up at this point.
Yeah, I think if Diablo just plays this smart, plays this slow, does not take a bad fight into those knights, he can win.
Yeah, there's 2 knights here.
And we have a raid coming into from the
Would be
bottom side of the map.
This would have been a very nice spot to get some pikes added to this army. I don't see any pikes coming from Diablo. It's still all men-at-arms.
Just 3 or 4 pikes. That's all you need.
Yeah. Oh, bro, look at this. Magma is going to let Diablo do whatever he wants, and he's going to send this cavalry back.
I don't know if that's a good idea, because if it was just man-at-arms, okay, you're Gucci, good to go, but there are 3 rams over there, my man.
Yeah, he's gonna kill a lot, and he's going to completely stop all the reinforcements.
He is taking TC fire though, and he has idled the villagers for a bit, but the issue is that Diablo is knocking on his base. There are 3 knights running around over there, and honestly,
Diablo needs to go in right now.
Diablo needs to go in.
He's going for a 4th battering ram.
I think this is overkill. This is really overkill.
Yeah, 3.
He should already be putting pressure onto this base, and I mean, he's being pressured himself, so the timer is ticking, and
Magma
he has the upper hand right now.
I think Magma is producing just the right kind of unit. All lancers, and would be very nice for Diablo to add some pikes in the mix, especially that he already has.
Looks like that cavalry does find the large woodcutter mass towards the north side, but at the same time,
Whoa! Rams.
We do have a push onto the main base of Magma. Knights clashing with those men-at-arms. The men-at-arms numbers are villagers getting popped out, going to try and take down those rams. We see quite a few knights dropping really low, and now the knight numbers start dwindling, and once they dwindle, they start falling immediately. But it seems that the battering rams are going to be taken down for free, and that would spell the end of this push, right? Diablo,
Yep, that's over.
Overcommitting a bit.
Oh man, Magma was okay with sacrificing his villagers. He knew he just needs to get this push back, and it's done. He lost a lot of villagers in there, but who cares? He has the age advantage.
Did he? I don't see a lot of villager bodies there.
Oh yeah, maybe just did not kill them. I'm guessing they did survive a lot.
I think the big mistake by Diablo here was going straight for the town center. There's a step redoubt over there. There's the forward base towards the north. If you take down either of those, that's a huge blow. Instead, he chose to go for the hardest building to take down the town center. Sure, if you take it down, you probably win. But remember, this is Mongols. They can just pack up and leave.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that it's very difficult to do this to Mongols. They have everything that they need to survive in H2. It only becomes possible to take them out in H3. Especially at H3, without the walls, they become very vulnerable to run by knights and everything. But yeah.
I think this would have been a fairly comfortable win for Diablo if he, instead of going for the town center, he had gone for the forward base. Well, not the forward base, the backward base towards the top side of the map. He could have taken down the Ovo, he could have taken down the stables, forced Magma to, construct his military buildings somewhere else, and you take down all of those buildings. That is a fair bit of wood, and then he could have moved over to the step redoubt and put damage onto that, and that way his rams would have been perfectly safe, because in those locations you don't really have the option of popping villages out of your Uvu or your step redoubt. So
yeah,
you could take down those buildings. You can constantly chip away at your enemy, and once you know that you can finish him off, then you can go for the kill, because H2 man-at-arms, versus those 5 knights, I think those 25 man-at-arms would have won, but 5 knights and a town center and villagers taking down your rams, that's a bit of a tough sell.
Hey, look at the eco. Diablo was overall ahead. Way more wood, more gold and more food. So he had everything more than Magma. Yeah, I think you're right. If that could have been taken down, would make a big difference. But again, it was a risky move, right? Because Ooh is right so at the back, going there, and now you're risking cutting off your reinforcement line. Was a tough call.
I don't think he needed reinforcements over there. That's the thing.
Yeah, he did have a lot of men at arms. Okay, we
He,
got it.
and he also spent like 1,200 or 1,600 gold on rams. A bit of an overinvestment. I'd say. I'd say 3 rams is already a pretty huge amount at this stage in the game. Like even 2 rams is going to shred buildings pretty fast.
Yeah, for the TC, I think 4 ramps is not a problem, but for other buildings, 2 ramps could have been fine. Very hard to kill those the TCs when you have the villagers quickly popping in and out and taking out ramps.
And just like 4 or 5 spears would have probably worked wonders over here.
Yeah. Some spears. It's in retrospective. I think there's some things that could have been done here. But I think for HRE play, that was decent by Diablo.
It was pretty decent. A bit disappointing though, that ending where he suicided all of his units to the town center. But GG's, and it seems that Magma is the winner of the best of 5.
Yeah, and that also means we got a third place game where Diablo versus Felisberto will take place. So I will wait for my setup to come back. I don't want to play my finals on this laptop. Just to give a good chance for myself. So meanwhile, we can have Diablo versus Felisberto for the third place, and then we can maybe by the end of this month we could have the finals. So I'll be scheduling with that with Magma soon.
This has turned out into quite the extended tournament.
Yeah, 1v1 tournaments. I think it's just like that. If you want to cast the games, all that adds to delay, and I think it's all good as long as players are ready to give all that time.
That's true. Usually the big issue is players losing interest after a while.
Yeah. But we are at the final, so I think it's all good for now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Pareto, for joining me in today's cast.
My pleasure.
Thanks everybody watching. We'll be back the next time and we'll have Diablo and Phyllis both trying to avenge their losses in semi-final and trying to become the third place in this tournament. Until then, see you guys. Bye bye.